power.
Good morning, Midnight's Edge fans. We're here to tell you that we have so much more to offer you now at our Mixed Tees store. Not just t-shirts and hoodies, but we do have plenty of those, and new designs for that matter. You can also get mugs, and of course our brand new limited Amber Turds stained blanket. That's right, just for your bed or wherever you need it. So head on over to Mixed Tees now and get all your apparel and goodies from Midnight's Edge.
Get up, wake up, this is your final warning. It's time for Midnight's Edge in the morning. The gang is ready to go and it's time for the show. It's time for Midnight's Edge in the morning.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Midnight's Edge in the morning. It's Wednesday, it's the middle of the week, and the battle for Discovery and Warner is just heating up, as we're about to see here. Plus, there may be one or two other news items as well. Joining me to discuss them all is, from the Great White North, that isn't Norway, Mr. Paul Chatto.
And it is very white today.
Unlike in Norway, which is quite rainy today.
No, it is. We have just got a nice dump of snow.
Cool, yeah, so I've heard. Also joining us is Mr. Chris Brawley. How's it going?
Good morning, Midnight's Edge fans. I am just happy to be here. I'll pretend I'm Tom today.
Yeah, Tom will be joining before long here. Also joining us, a surprise guest, is Script Doctor. Glad to see you. Going.
Hey, yes, we got a little bit of snow where I am. Not a lot, but some.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, really? You're downtown.
I'm actually outside of downtown, and for some reason it's pretty slow. But there's apparently been a fire somewhere on one of the subway lines, so that's caused the delay. So I don't have to be out yet until that gets extinguished.
Maybe that is white ash floating through the air, Script Doctor, instead of snow.
Right. We're suffering from Pompeii.
Yes. So yeah. Due to the weather, I have my morning free, so I'm happy to be here with you, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Glad to hear it. That's brilliant. Since I have to leave early today, that's fantastic. So yeah. Also, let's just get started with a couple of these super chats while we wait for everyone to line in. So everyone, please smash that like. Let everyone know that we are indeed live right now, because Lord knows this platform ain't going to do it. Packing Protons says for $5, NJ, I'm guessing New Jersey, now wants to ban plastic utensils next. Are we a communist state now? Sty. Actually, I think they already did that in Norway, because I haven't seen plastic utensils in ages. It's all wood now, which of course is better than paper straws, which suck to high heavens, don't do shit for the environment anyway. But yeah,
We've got wood and we've got plastic that's made out of potato oil up here.
oh, amazing!
Yeah, which is
Potato
pretty good.
oil.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
You can do the most amazing things out of potatoes. You can even drink them.
Yep.
And I'm not even joking.
It's a good route.
Yeah, indeed. Betty the Music Man says for $2, good morning, Midnight Maniacs. Wake me when it's over. Well, I hope you're awake right now. And Soul Nightmare says, Supergirl countdown in Times Square. In 3.5 hours, we might be getting the trailer. Allegedly, it's supposed to drop tomorrow, so it might be the poster. Oh, interesting. I thought the next big trailer we were waiting for was the trailer for Avengers Endgame.
No, they're dropping something. They're dropping something tomorrow.
I thought the next big trailer was about the Argentinian trans coal miner. I was waiting for that one.
That came out this morning.
Oh,
Oh,
Wait, that's the one where it's a man who transitioned to a woman who wants to be a coal miner, right?
in Argentina. I
In
don't know which way
Argentina.
they're going.
Dude, this is awfully progressive. I just have to say.
And it's based on a true story.
Oh, yeah.
Could it be any more awards bait?
No, it's inspired by true events. Not based
there we
Oh,
go.
I see.
Well, I mean, that
Okay.
still means the same thing because there's no such thing as a true story inspiration when it comes to
Correct.
these types of adaptations.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the scene from Zoolander. I think I'm getting black lung.
That'd be fun. Also
Anyways,
joining
I'm,
here
I'm glad
is,
that trailer has dropped because I was really waiting for that one.
Somebody's phone is dinging.
That's me.
Oh,
That's me. I'm beeping. My
I will.
computer.
I don't remember. We were talking before, back in the green room. I think about movies from the '90s. Maybe this was from the '80s, but I don't remember quite this much hype for the first Supergirl movie. Does anybody? And by hype, I don't mean organic. Just for the record.
the first Supergirl was 1984, right?
That sounds
Yes.
accurate. Yes.
I was born by 1984, but I wasn't quite conscious, let's say. So
Okay.
you have to fill me
I was
on
16.
the hype level then.
I was
Yeah.
16 in that.
Yeah, you'll remember that hype better than me then.
Mhm. Well, I just remember that, Superman fans were hoping to see Superman. We did get to see a poster and we did get to see Jimmy Olsen. And
Yeah, well, that was Christopher Reeve, his decision. He didn't want his presence to take away from Helen Slater's debut, and it was, Jeannot. Yeah, Jeannot was directed that one. He was pretty.
Nah, he read the script and said no.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And he probably was like, oh, okay, this is my graceful exit. It's like, yeah, I don't want to take away the spotlight. She can have
Yes, I need a
all
way
the
out of
spotlight for
this.
this one, all on her own.
Yeah.
But then again, he also did read the script for Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't
They
think he
didn't
said
direct
no
that
because of
one?
the script, because the script had magic in it. The problem is that he didn't know, and neither did Helen Slater or Jeannot Schwartz know, that they weren't going to have any money to do the magic special effects in the film because of this.
I'm pretty sure there's an interview somewhere where he's like, no, I read the script. And I'm just like,
I've never seen that interview. I've seen.
go ahead, people, without me. I'm fine. Or
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah.
Would not surprise me. Would not surprise me.
Well, and to be fair, he did have a lot of creative input on Superman 4. So
And
that-
Superman
Superman
3, he
4 is
directed
where
all
he
the
bitched
flying
about
stuff.
not having any money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that.
Well, but it was kind of based on it was him and Sidney Fury. Sidney Fury, I think, was the director on that. And,
Yeah, I think it was Sidney Fury.
he got a lot of creative input, which is why it's so great,
Yeah. Fantastic stuff.
I did
yeah.
like that they brought Helen Slater into the Supergirl TV show.
Oh, stunt casting. Yeah, everybody loves stunt casting.
Yeah, well, I especially like that one. I don't always like stunt casting, but I did like that one.
Well, I mean, it was an insult. It was an insult to the show because they didn't even use her, and she's available. Like,
Yeah,
here you
right.
are, this flashback, and we'll bring you in for one episode once a season, and do nothing. And then the same thing with Dean Cain. They brought him in, and then they completely decided, nah, we're not going to use Dean anymore. We're just going to turn him into a bad guy and then kick him off to the side.
Well, somebody showed the showrunners his Twitter account, I guess, or something.
I mean, well, that would be Greg Daniels, and Greg Daniels is, an out gay man who doesn't like a lot of anything left of him.
Isn't Helen Slater conservative as well?
What's that?
Isn't
I
Helen
think
Slater
maybe.
conservative as well.
I saw a bunch of people trashing Kelsey Grammer for his comments the other day. So it's still, it's about the same if you're on the right, which is, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the Golden Globes kind of sort of skipped over for their best podcast, new category, best podcast. Nothing from Theo Vaughn, nothing from Joe Rogan, of course.
Did they say anything about Hassan Piker? The dog?
No. They didn't go that far. They did nominate Poehler, Amy Poehler's podcast, and it was just the huge.
Oh, fantastic.
Anyhow, Supergirl countdown. I
don't
bet that's
understand.
just a poster. I'm sure that's just a poster.
I don't understand Theo Vaughn, and I hear Joe Rogan is quite popular.
He is, yes. I can't
I think
confirm.
Theo Vaughn needs better people around him because they should not be letting him go on video with that haircut.
The only
The mullet.
Theo Vaughn videos that I like are the ones that have run it through a baby AI That's the only ones I can stomach.
He's a complete airhead. I
Yes.
don't understand his popularity at all. I mean,
He's
He does
stand-up
not have-
comedian. That's his shtick.
I know, but even then he wasn't funny. He wasn't
Okay,
funny.
dude, have you seen what the kids are into on Instagram and TikTok? Being a complete airhead is not an obstacle in this day and age. With
I
the
guess
modern
I'm just an
audience,
old
let's
man.
say. Yeah, and because you like quality and you like some content, so you can relate to Joe Rogan because you get that. With Theo
Yeah,
Vaughn,
Joe's good.
who's still popular, but what you say, I don't relate either.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on here. Tim Hayes has
Okay.
been a member for 53 months, and we are glad to have you.
Hey, Tim.
Membership stream coming soon. Soul Nightmare sent a correction, and this in reference to Supergirl. Correction 12 p.m. EST. That's Eastern Standard Time, right? Or, yeah.
Okay.
I just remember my own, which is set CET, Central European Time. Packing Proton says, I don't see no auroras outside Andre's door. And there was a massive aurora here a couple of months back, but it was on a day when we weren't streaming. But that actually has been known to happen, even as far south in Norway as I am. And in Norway, I'm what the people up north, real north, call goddamn southerner. So that's where the capital is. But
I have
anyway,
an Oldsmobile Aurora parked outside my house. That's the closest I get to an Aurora.
yeah, that still wouldn't be visible from this window.
I used to drive a Nova. Does that count?
Um,
No. Okay.
My mom had a Nova.
Hmm.
She smashed it.
Quality of this podcast is quickly declining.
It is.
Because we're
Well,
talking
let's,
about fucking
start
automobiles.
let's get into the topics at hand.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed with the first chat request from the people. We need to blame them because
Yes.
we don't have much content at all, and if we don't get good chats, then we have no idea. what to
Concur.
talk
Yes.
You hear, so
I
basically,
blame the chat.
yeah. So basically, chat, take note. Paul wants you to send super chats, which is about real topics, so we can get into
Yes.
the real topics at hand.
Thank you. There
Yes.
you go.
Meanwhile, we actually do have some news that have dropped recently. It's been quite a few days here. We have some major stories. Tom, I know that you found a couple of stories we can talk about, but let's just, before we get into the Warner versus Netflix over, Paramount versus Netflix over Warner is what I meant to say. We have another story that I just saw drop on that Park Place, which I thought was fun, which has more to do with the Paramount side of affairs, because you'll recall that CBS is now under Paramount, which is under Skydance. And Tom, I just put a story in the private chat, if you wouldn't mind putting that up on screen, because CBS, they are quite progressive when it comes to the news and news coverage. They have the likes of Colbert and they have the likes of Rachel Maddow. And Colbert isn't going to be on for too much longer, so Rachel Maddow demands that he must be reinstated. And she calls all of this thing that's going on a huge embarrassment. So, gentlemen, do we concur? Was Skydance taking over all of Paramount and everything that went with that a huge embarrassment? And should they reinstate Stephen Colbert to atone for their sins? Chris, I know you must be dying to weigh in on this.
I just think, Rachel Maddow, she makes $25 million a year for some of her political ideas. I mean, it's really just sort of her version of reality on MSNBC. And she's standing for the guy that makes $15 million a year, and that they need to keep Stephen Colbert around. I also dropped something where Christian Toto was talking about Jimmy Kimmel did get a 1-year extension. Nobody's really talking about that, but Colbert's out in May. And I'm not sure if Rachel thinks she's going to convince the Ellisons, who don't think like her politically. Colbert's out, and she's just, I guess she's just trying to rally the last remaining troops that would try to defend him. I don't know.
One thing I know about white men is that they love butch white women telling them what to do.
Oh, it's an addiction. And which one? And it's funny too how hypocritical she is. There's plenty of footage of her calling Dick Cheney, the Darth Vader of the Bush administration, W. Bush. And yet she was at the funeral for Dick Cheney a couple of months ago, and sitting next to Fauci, of all people. I mean, this is who she is. So she's just a puppet for the oligarch elite, and I really couldn't care less what she has to say.
Or in certain other terms, the global left.
There you go.
That is the oligarch elite.
Yeah.
Yes.
Globo homo.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite put that term, but yeah,
I
can
like it.
see
It kind of
some
rolls off
of
the
that.
tongue. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I just thought that was a nice way to get started. So there is some pushback to Paramount from the establishment part of the news and the industry. Script Doctor, is this something that you've heard anything about? Are people your part of town, are they're happy with what Skydance have done with CBS and Paramount so far?
They're ambivalent right now. They're working on, like, everybody's just working on their own things. We have no clue what the future is in store with Skydance at Paramount at this point. There are some people that are not happy because they don't like the Ellisons. There are some people that don't care so long as their job's still around. I think Rachel Maddow fighting for Colbert is probably the funniest thing she's ever done. Because, I mean, despite what you like, whether you like Colbert or not, he has shown to the world stage that he has talent and that there is an audience for him, just not in the late night talk show host area. He has already proven that. CBS has made their decision, and saying, oh, because we have new owners, we should be embarrassed, and therefore, in order to mitigate that embarrassment, let's bring back a guy that has a show that does not generate any income for sustainability and therefore further harm the company. That's just silly talk. And I don't care how much either of them make. They may negotiate that deal. Good for them.
Yeah.
I just find it amusing. I mean, it's like it is a money situation. The fact that what he's making and what the show costs is, you just said it. It's not financially lucrative for CBS anymore. But what Rachel's point is, she thinks that they're only getting rid of Colbert because of Trump. And she was on Nicole Wallace, who also, speaking of George W. Bush, she used to be his press secretary. And of course, she's as left as they come now. And she's over at MSNBC. And they were talking about it. And she was blaming it on that CBS is trying to appease Trump. And of course, she had a few comments to say about the new CBS News chief, Barry Weiss. So, I mean, it's just more left-wing fever dream ramblings from Rachel Maddow. The whole thing was. But
yeah, she's
right.
definitely speaking to the choir.
Yeah.
We're in this weird world where feelings seem to trump everything, including business decisions. And the fact that Colbert was losing $100 million a year, and the entire late night slate of bingo callers was plummeting. People were losing interest in the whole concept of late night, except for Gutfield, I guess. And there's just this whole group of people that are ignoring and defying logic from every side of whether it's involving business or involving science or involving any number of things that if I keep going, I'll get myself into big trouble. So I'll end it there.
Yeah.
And notwithstanding the fact that we now have an era of actors and producers who are openly hostile to audiences. Like, it's the weirdest time.
Well, they're not hostile to themselves, and that's exactly what we are seeing right here. Because
They're
here
better.
and this actually also sets up what we'll be talking about with Netflix versus Paramount later on here, namely the battle for the narrative. In this case, the furthering of the narrative that this is all about Trump, the boogeyman to be blamed for everything,
Yeah.
to into everything. It's amazing how like one person can have the entirety of the globalist left blame him for everything.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but at the same time, there's a perfectly valid parallel with Kathleen Kennedy in Star Wars. She is the blame for all their failures. Like that's the parallel that you've got to consider here, right? So on the left, you have them saying Trump the boogeyman, blame everything on him. And then you have a whole bunch of Star Wars fans saying Kathleen Kennedy, blame everything on her.
Well,
because
that's
the
correct.
outcome is, and that's the humorous parallel. Now, to your point about actors being hostile to audiences, from their perspective, they're only hostile to the people that they think hate them. They're reactionary. Remember that. And what's happening is that the trades are blurring the lines between the audiences and then the people that have small voices that have sent horrible things to these people. And they're saying, this is most of the people that don't like you. What is your response to them? They're part of this political sphere. They're part of this demographic. And what is an actor to do other than defend themselves and then do so under the false narrative that it's a tight niche. And then you have other people to say, well, then they just hate everybody. And it's like, no, because you could find someone on the right that's a Trump supporter that might like Mark Ruffalo, and Mark Ruffalo will probably treat him perfectly reasonably in person and not know if he said anything else. And if he said anything else, he doesn't see a name, doesn't see a face. And he's like, well, I just don't agree with that person. I think they're a horrible human being for saying that. Like,
well, that's tribe. Yeah, that's tribalism. The
exactly.
irony, and I think this particular story highlights it, is that the left seem to be fighting for every remaining scrap that's left on the table, as opposed to just letting the business go the way it usually went. Colbert finishes his run. There's no controversy, and he just has a great sign off, waves goodbye. And as you said, he's not a talentless individual. Okay. And everybody, but that's what people on the scribes on the right tend to, that's their failing, is that they go, oh, he just sucks in general. He doesn't. So this thing here does not help Colbert either. He should just leave gracefully and then come back in another guise doing, what he's capable of doing. This makes it much more difficult for him to come back, ironically, I think.
And going back to something you guys were talking about before, here's one thing that I've learned since the left has left me. They are not fiscally responsible. They will say, let's pay for something without asking who's going to pay for it or how they're going to pay for it. They seem to think that there's all this money to go around when there isn't. See, and that's the thing. It's like with the whole Batgirl thing. It's with so many other things where they're just like, well, there's so much money for it. Why can't we spend a little extra money on this, even though it's not making any money? They don't understand how business works.
And keep Colbert on the air, even though he's losing $100 million a year. That doesn't
exactly.
matter.
They don't. They're literally the underwear gnomes. They have no idea where the money is coming from. They just think they're going to profit somehow.
Well, right? You just have to watch the Caleb YouTube videos where he dresses down individuals who don't know how to manage their money, and now the left have come after Caleb because they feel he is demeaning people of small intellect, which mostly are on the left. So it's quite funny. Again, I look at this. If this was good old Hollywood days, there wouldn't be any discussion about losing money or market share. he would just end his run gracefully, have a good party, and then he would come back as Stephen Colbert doing something else. That would be it, and no one would care. Why is the left fighting for everything that seems to be in their own interest, but nobody else's?
Oh, I think because they're losing.
Okay.
I think they see this as a loss. Losing Colbert is they've lost ground. They also don't like Barry Weiss at all taking over at CBS. They don't like David Ellison at Paramount. And
these are the same people who said that there's nothing wrong with Star Wars. You're just a sexist.
Yeah. Or it's like made for you. Right.
They don't understand
Mm-hmm.
that failure means failure, right? To them, it's not a failure. To them, and this is exactly what Rachel's accusing people of. She is flat out accusing the Ellisons of only firing Colbert to appease Trump.
Right.
No other reason.
Right.
Right. With ignoring what you guys just said, that that the show is costing $100 million a year. Right. Because they're just sitting and going, well, this doesn't make any sense. There's money there. They just don't want to spend it. Right. Like that's the way they're acting. They're acting like daddy has this bunch of money he's sitting on and he's saying, no, we're just not going to allocate this for Stephen Colbert. No, they're not taking into consideration that every year the show's on the air, that's another net negative $100 million on their, what do you call it? Balance sheet. Thank you. Yeah. So however many years now that Colbert has been going $100 million in the hole, right? So that's like what, $800 million? $1
billion.
$1 billion at this point? Where are we at with this? I can totally understand look, we've been saying this from the start. David Ellison got lucky that, and I make jokes about it, but it's half true, that Skydance destroyed the company so bad that he was able to pick it up for a fucking song.
Well, it was still expensive. I mean, at the end of the day,
it was still expensive, but it was still cheaper than it should have been.
Yeah, mergers cost money. What's the first thing you do?
And he's trying to do the same thing with Warner Brothers right now. Now notice his whole big thing is, well, that wasn't my final offer. No, that was your lowball offer, you asshole, and that's why you got beat.
Yeah, but what's wrong with a lowball offer?
There's nothing wrong with it, but don't cry foul when somebody else comes in with a much better offer, right? Like, and then somebody already sold the bicycle. That's too bad. You can't show up a day late and $1 short. You could try your little hostile takeover, but you think Netflix is going to go for that? Fuck no. Netflix has got deeper pockets too. It's going to go on for a while.
They were looking at Disney before this deal.
Fuck yes. And that's what's hilarious about this whole thing is Netflix is like, we're not interested in studios. We don't want other people's things. We want to make our own thing. Yet they've been going after the two biggest entities in entertainment in the last couple of years here. Bullshit.
Yeah.
This has been going on for a while. Ellison's crying foul. This is just a small piece of this whole thing. Rachel Maddow, she can go fucking under. Nobody cares about this. You think the Ellisons give two shits right now about Stephen Colbert? They got bigger fucking fish to fry. Much bigger fish to fry.
I don't think that they care, but it's not about them. This is setting the narrative for all of their supporters that don't really pay attention, that just read the headlines, and they probably do care. And they probably do believe the narrative that they're being presented with, because why wouldn't they? Mm-hmm. Because that's what's being presented to them.
Yeah, baby danger.
Well, I don't think it helps the left that they keep finding these Alamos to fight.
Yeah,
that it's just like, let it go.
Yeah. The fallout too, that sort of I wouldn't necessarily call it the buried lead, but Kimmel over at ABC, the left's other sacred cow, is only got a 1-year extension, and his last 3 contract extensions were for 3 years. And so after that little talk they had after the Charlie Kirk thing, I think they said, okay, just to avoid embarrassment, we're going to extend you for 1 more year, but that's it. So Kimmel is not long for his late night show either. Whereas unlike Colbert, I think they're just going to end the show. They're not going to replace Colbert. They're just going to end it, which is why I think you're right, Paul. He should just bow out gracefully, and then the very next night be a guest on the Kimmel show, right? That's what's going to probably happen first. And then, but Kimmel will be replaced. He will, when his contract is up, it's somebody new, and this will just give them a year to figure out who that is.
Well, and here's part of the problem right here is that, yeah, like this is no different than what was going on inside of Warner Brothers. Now you have everybody inside the studio freaking out because they're figuring out that the people that own the studio have conservative leanings. It's like, oh my gosh, rich people have conservative leanings. Call the press. Right.
Well,
So
allegedly, and this is what I mean. We don't know this for absolutely certain, do we?
come on. He's got fucking Trump on speed dial, except for Trump ain't taking his calls right now. The drama going on behind the scenes is more hilarious than anything.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so
that is on speed dial. You found a great story about that. So,
yeah, we'll get to that, but let's get back to the shit that's going on yesterday. So somebody hacked. So beyond the fact that they're trying to, because let's be real, what this Madoff thing is doing, because you're right, Andre, this whole thing is setting up a narrative
exactly
of that Trump is influencing these people. That's why we need to reject these people. In fact, you had somebody who probably either works for Paramount or hacked. I don't even think they had to hack into it. I think it was somebody who had control over the fucking X account, went in and wrote basically that they're accused that the leaders are a fascist regime on their X account yesterday.
Yeah. It's probably a CNN employee.
Like I said, it doesn't even have to be that somebody hacked it. I bet you $5 it's somebody who works for him already. We've seen how people who at Warner Brothers acted over Zaslav.
Yeah.
And Zaslav wasn't as publicly a buddy, chummy with Trump as these guys are. And look, that's what's the hilarious part about this whole thing is Trump, he's starting to kind of distance himself a little bit from it. Because I think he knows that sooner or later they're going to start questioning Kushner's involvement with this too. And that's going to be a conflict of interest.
Yeah, he has to shut up about it.
And honestly, rightfully so. If anyone questions that, that's rightfully so.
No, that's true. Yeah, he needs to keep his mouth shut about it.
Because it's the story that Andre was talking about.
Yeah,
I don't know if you shared it back here, but like you're gonna have to because of Facebook being shitty. But yeah, so basically, Trump ghosted David, and this came out yesterday. So they were in talks for like 12 weeks. And then all of a sudden, Trump ghosted him. And it's come to the point where he had Daddy call him. I don't know if you have that story handy, Andre, that I sent you.
Give me a second. I'll find it.
Yeah.
You sent it to me. I thought that you.
Well, I have it on my phone because Facebook sucks.
Yeah, it's a YouTube story, isn't it? So
you don't think he has better things to do with his time during the day?
I just
Trump
feel
or
like
Ellison?
probably some legal advisor said, "Hey, if you want to see this thing happen, maybe a car over at the FTC." You're muted, Paul. Said something to him, and he just said, "Okay, I'll just stay out of it for now." I'm still not convinced that this Hollywood consolidation, whether it's Paramount or Netflix, I'm still not convinced this is actually going to be a good thing, right? Because there's going to be less investment, less jobs.
Yeah, for us, it's definitely not. For the audience and for everyone working there, it's definitely not a good thing either way.
It's like, which one is the lesser of two evils?
Exactly. I mean, and the problem is we don't even know that for sure either.
Right. And Script and I went through this, and the thing is regulatory wise, the studios are going to have a much, we talked about this the last couple of days, the studios are going to have a much bigger battle to try and get this through than say Netflix, because I think the problem that most people aren't realizing or thinking about this is that they're looking at Netflix as a studio when they're not, right? Like even last night when I was talking to Nick, he was rambling off Nick Weiser was rambling off all their popular franchises. I'm like, you do realize, Nick, that all those things you just named, Netflix technically doesn't produce. They don't even produce Stranger Things. It's produced by another company. So like that's my point, is like Netflix is technically not a studio. They don't really produce anything. They're just a distribution service. They're a tech company. So that is going to factor into this.
I think I agree with you, Tom. I still think that it's the antitrust about
I hope they find something. I hope to God they can figure something out, because that's the thing that Script and I are sitting here going is like, really, all at the end of the day, the worst we can see happening is that if it isn't already spun off before the sale goes through, they may have to spin off HBO Max, and that's it. Because they may look at it as the same company, but other than that.
Now they do have some originals they produce, don't they?
Not really. No, they don't have anything internal. They always hire
in name only.
They buy it and then they call it a Netflix original, like what they did with Cobra Kai. They called that a Netflix original.
Okay,
it's not theirs. But with Netflix, think of it this way: if Paramount buys Warner Brothers, that's 50% job loss minimum. If Netflix buys Warner Brothers, it's 25% job loss minimum.
Okay.
That's the most simplified ratio you can think about it. So what is really best for the industry? Sadly, like the other devil that has been killing theatrical and home video release, taking over would be better for jobs. But it would completely change the dynamic of how general audiences consume media, because it's going to be way more heavier on streaming than it will be on theaters.
So fewer jobs lost if Netflix gets it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, statistically, yes, because Netflix does not have any departments that are identical to what Warner Brothers has, which means there's no justification to cut because there's no redundancy. And when studios and conglomerates merge together, the first thing they cut is redundancies. Paramount has the exact same departmental structure as Warner Brothers. They're going to merge those together. They're going to cut out the fat to save costs, and then all those people are out of jobs. With Netflix doesn't have a DC Studios. Netflix doesn't have anyone to operate all the other film titles like that Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca will be doing. They can't get rid of those departments, and those are the two big departments at Warner Brothers right now.
Well, why are the unions then against the merger? And
they're against the merger because they think that's going to limit and destroy theatrical release. The other part, too, is that when you have an owner like Netflix, which has also been lobbying for a lot of AI usage, such as AI scanning of actors and talents to repurpose of them, they're worried about their likeness rights because, again, Netflix is very good with contracts. And sadly, majority of talent are not good at reading contracts.
Well, I proposed that the other day that a lot of this is going to benefit Netflix's AI plans, because think of all the IP now that they're going to have. With the DC stuff, the Looney Tunes and everything else, they're going to be able to just generate AI content without needing anyone.
And probably that's a big part of the reason why the Ellisons are so keen on Warner in the first place, because of Oracle and the AI connection that they have.
Yeah, I think they're both after the same thing. Yeah.
Netflix doesn't have the AI advantages that Paramount does.
Wow.
Or rather that Skydance does, or rather the Ellisons personally. So all of this factors in here. And I'm curious, Gript, because this thing is that, I know that for the industry and for employment opportunities and for there not being a crap ton of people getting unemployed, looking for jobs, competing with everyone who's already unemployed anyway, it's better for the industry. Of course, the best would be if Warner stayed independent. Or where it was rather. But given that option is not on the table of the two, I know that for the industry, it's better if Netflix gets it. The thing that bothers me a little bit, or not bothers so much as it annoys, is that as an audience, I honestly don't even know who to root for, because Ellison is the devil you don't know. We have rumors, we have speculation, but we haven't seen him actually reform Paramount yet. And then he already wants to Warner right now. We don't know what he stands for. I said it the other morning.
It doesn't matter which one wins. We all lose. That's
that
the
we
problem.
Do either way. But where do we, as the audience, lose more, or where do we lose less?
Well, we can hope that the system works itself through, and if there truly is some sort of monopolization going on here, hopefully the system works out and neither gets them.
Yeah.
And they're just forced to split up.
Yeah. Ooh.
Like Ma Bell back in the day. Like,
forced to stay with Discovery. I like them there.
Exactly, because at this point, it's bad news for the industry no matter which way you cut it. But I agree with the assessment Script and I did the other night, and that is at this point, regulatory-wise and redundancy-wise, the industry should be rooting for Netflix, even though it is also rooting for their own damnation at the same time. But they're going to be damned no matter what they do at this point, I think, because they've destroyed themselves.
Oh yeah, they're bent over a barrel. It's just like, how rough do they want it?
Yeah, basically. You're not wrong there. Speaking of
I'm
barrels,
waiting
we got
for I'm waiting for another suitor, Canon or Saban, coming in just mysteriously and taking it.
Oh, Haim Saban will
could.
never spend more than like never spend the money. He's a cheapskate.
But anyhow, Andre does have to leave us.
Saban, yeah. Haim Saban, he's a cheapskate. I mean, he's a lovely guy. I've crossed paths with him once or twice, but yeah, he is a cheapskate, and he knows it.
Well, yeah, that's what we need.
You know, if this thing turns into a fight, we're not going to see the dust clear on this for 12 months to a year or 2 years. You know, I think.
Well, the regulatory stuff could take that long, and that's why I laugh every time somebody says something about the Snyder Cut. But on that note, Andre, I know you have to take off.
I do. I unfortunately have to be leaving now, as I indicated earlier. But I just wish everyone a nice rest of the stream. Behave, everyone. Even if I'm not there. Yeah.
Oh, behave.
Yeah.
That's towards me.
All right.
That's towards me.
That's towards everyone.
We love you.
Go
Andre.
away, cat. The mice must
now
play.
we can start drinking.
Indeed.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Take care.
See you, bud.
All right, see ya. Because I do know that the government does not really like hostile takeovers.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this whole thing rolls here.
I mean, it's FTC and DOJ, right? I mean, both of them have to get involved, and the papers have to get filed, and the lawyers have to review, and on and on and on and on.
A minimum 2.5 year process.
You think 2.5?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I was saying before, and that's why I was saying, like, any of these people that think that the Snyderverse is still a possibility, I got news for you. It's at least 5 or so years out before they even get anything going. And that's after all the sales go through, and that's if they had a script written in this period of time, you know, all that kind of business. You got to get all these schedules together, and that's just one little piece, right? So this is why they've been saying nothing is going to change over at Warner Brothers for a while. Why? Because they don't have time to change anything, and they have to honor contracts. So all that stuff is going to take time. That's why they have flat out said that the theatrical contracts they have up through 2029 will be honored, because they have to.
Mm-hmm.
They have no choice, right? Like this is what Script Doctor talks about.
But between Warner and Netflix, we're going to find out in a week. Like this part is going to be done, whether it's going to be successful through regulatory.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Which one's going to be the actual suiter? We're finding out shortly. And
yeah,
then
those are two different things.
Yeah,
unless Paramount sues. I mean, at the end of the day, the Warner Brothers shareholders could derail this whole thing. They really could. They could just reject the Warner Brothers deal or the Netflix deal.
Well, the other side of this. Oh, sorry, Paulie. I was just going to say the other side of this too is you have the Saudi money involved with Ellison, which brings in a foreign element. But go ahead, Paulie.
No, I was just going to add on to what you're saying, Tom. Tom's correct in Script as far as Hollywood. It takes forever to get anything done. And yet sometimes there's something that does buck that. But in this case, all the Warner Brothers success this year, that's got nothing to do with Zaslav. That was before his time, as far as the greenlit on the projects. Those things are years in the makings. In talking to the exec that I talked to very recently, I kept bringing up Sinners, this, that, and they were just kind of like, smirking at me. It's like Zaslav taking the credit for that, but he did not greenlight those projects. Script.
But Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi did, which is who he hired. So I mean, there is that aspect to it. But yeah.
Right. I'm just saying, like, that I'm saying that those projects were greenlit, developed years ago. And so to add to your thing, this, whoever takes over, like you said, you're not what Script said. It's going to be a minimum, right? For 3 to 5 years. Script. I'm thinking that you'll see something on the screen effective being that's under the new ownership.
As for foreign money, I mean, Sony's owned by Japan, right? And we've had Saudis came in and did the Activision purchase. I don't necessarily think the Saudi money is going to derail this. It actually makes the Paramount offer more appealing probably to the shareholders. That's why I think that the shareholders could potentially derail this whole thing. When the hostile bid came in, which honestly it came out of nowhere for me. I'm sure a lot of more savvy industry people saw it coming. Ted Sarandos said that, this was fully expected. He was in Bloomberg yesterday, I think, saying they totally expected this. But Netflix has been lying about everything, right? Every time they open their mouths about possibly buying Warner Brothers, it was a lie. But I think I don't know. I think I think there's a fight ahead, and I don't think it's going to be sorted out which one is going to prevail to go through the gauntlet of all the regulatory stuff to see if they wind up truly prevailing. I think there's going to be a bit more of a fight between Paramount and Netflix before we get to that point. So if we have any shareholders in the chat, anybody that owns Warner Brothers stock, I'd love for them to weigh in and tell us which one they want to win. I don't want either one of them to win, Tom. I'm hoping you're right. I'm hoping that somehow the whole thing gets broken up like Ma Bell.
Well, and that's my understanding too. If Netflix does get it, there will be breaking up either way. Like Ellison, he wants the whole kit and caboodle, right? Like that's another problem I think right there with the monopolization issue. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's hilarious because Ellison's saying now that like, well, that offer wasn't my final offer. It didn't say in that it was my final offer. It's like, dude, that's how bidding works. You put your best offer in and hope you can beat the other guy, right? Like, and I get it. I mean, he's playing this game now with the hostile takeover business, but it's really he's failing in the sense of every mistake that you can make in the art of war when it comes to business, he's in the process of making right now. It's like, dude, did you ever watch The Godfather? Like you own that movie.
Yeah. I wonder if is he trying to say that initial bid was a stalking horse bid or something? Because you're right, but in negotiation, you do want to come in as low as you think you can get it.
Right. But at the same time, we found out now that there's been a total of 6 offers that he made now, not just the 3 public ones.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why I kind of think there was a little bit of panic that set in, because I think this probably was a solid offer they were making. And
yeah, he saw it going away. Yeah.
Yeah. Holy cow. We're about to lose this thing. We got to get some more money.
And the hilarity of it all is Andre points out he's the one that started the whole fucking thing.
Yep.
He did. And Warner Brothers stock has almost doubled since that started because it's closing to $30 a share right now. Which means that both that 108 billion and that 85 billion is now going on par as opposed to being a profit thing for the stockholders. So what is the company to do?
But Script, isn't that where he ultimately wants to sell it? $30?
$30 is like the baseline. That is
baseline. I mean, it's got, so it was low, right? Now it's gone up a little bit.
It's essentially, well, at the start of the year, it's like $10 a share. Now it's almost $30 a share.
Wow.
Well, just to remind everybody, when AT&T bought Warner Brothers, they paid $85 billion. So the $80 billion that Netflix was going to pay is actually shown, and this is one of the things I was going to say they might have used as an argument, is that the value of the company has gone down, right? Like, because the industry is no longer as valuable as it used to be. Now, at the end of the day, I think this is going to go for much higher. I think Netflix is going to have to pony up like $100 billion plus the 5 point whatever billion they need for the breakup fee. I bet. But it's just going to boil down to Ellison's not going to be able to come up with that much cash fast enough, I think. Like Netflix will. Netflix probably will be able to pull a few more loans quicker than Ellison can. And Daddy's going to pull the plug sooner or later. That's the thing that I think is going to happen. I could be wrong, but I think at some point Dad's just going to have to say, look, you got a brand new studio. Let's see how well you play with the one you have first before we start looking at any more, which he should have said already to begin with, because it's going to be another few years before we even see what Ellison wants to do with Paramount. because he's just getting started. He just took over what 3 or 6 months ago, somewhere in between there, when the sale was finalized. So I mean,
it's been it's been
close to a year, maybe
since the summer, early summer.
Yeah, I was gonna
Because
say
I
the sale.
coincided that when he hired my friend. So, and if you know, just if any a little side scoop there that Lasseter is really burning the midnight oil on a new project. Tom. Sorry, I'm still waking up.
Well, hopefully it's good because his last few have not generated a whole lot of interest. But let's see what you guys are saying out there. And Miller says, so apparently Paramount is back to toxically male F. Yeah. So what are the chance the hostile takeover actually goes through? Well, this is reportedly the case. The Paramount is back to toxic masculinity, but we'll see. As far as the hostile takeover, your guess is as good as mine, man. It's been how many years since we had a hostile takeover? Because I know we've joked about this in the past, about like Apple doing a hostile takeover on Disney or something like that. But it's been 20, 30 years since we've had a hostile takeover in this country, I think. Or at least that I can recall. And doesn't sound like anybody else can remember one.
So you had the AT&T deal.
That wasn't a hostile takeover.
No,
though.
but I'm just kind of a sidebar. Warner Brothers has sort of had this identity crisis going on 2018. Then in 2022, they did the Warner Brothers Discovery. Now they're about to get bought out again. I don't know what Zaslav is responsible for, to Paulie's point, but other than getting the stock price back up with this deal and canceling Batgirl. I mean, you know, he made a lot of hay about the DCU. All that stuff was greenlit before, but I don't know. I think Zaslav is doing exactly what he was hired to do right now.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of the horror films that Warner Brothers released were all greenlit under his watch, because those don't take as much time. I do recall Sinners was being shopped around. I just didn't know who pulled the trigger on that, so or when.
Right.
But yeah, and then everything that DC Studios has, that's also under a Zaslav regime. And despite what audiences in this sector are saying, the general public is currently liking it. So they're moving forward with it to the point where Warner Brothers says these numbers are good. Let's keep going.
I do know that DeLuca, he's taking a lot of chances on things, and that's where some of these things have paid off. And that was one of the reasons why he didn't get Warner Brothers to begin with. And I found out in my research. Because Bob had two special sons, let's say. One was Toby, one was Michael. And for some reason, I could never figure out why Toby was the one that got picked when he was clearly the lesser of the two. But it was because Michael took too many chances and didn't listen to Bob. That was what happened, I found out in the short version. Because and Script will back me up on this, I've been saying it for years that Mike DeLuca should have been running Warner Brothers for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how Toby got the job. I don't, but I kind of figured out now how. But that was because New Line was a little engine that could, and that's why they moved a lot of those people over to the main Warner Brothers department when everything got merged. And then Toby ran the company into the ground for the last 25 years.
Well, again, a person that plays it too safe doesn't make any impact or make any money. And then the person that takes only risks and doesn't know how to mitigate that, same direction, different chaos.
Yeah. And that's where I think Pam Abdi might come into this, but I don't know her very well. See, that's the thing. I don't know her at all, so I can't tell you much about her. But yeah, we'll see how this pans out. And then Packet Proton says, I like Superman 4, sue me. However, Supergirl TV show was a waste of talent in a feminist propaganda. Yeah, especially after the first season.
First season was good. I liked the first season a lot, actually.
And then Packet Proton says, I want gardening tips from Paul. Good, super.
But I do agree with Packing Protons after season 1 and you, Tom.
Use a trowel.
Yeah,
a trowel.
No, that's the wrong advice. The real advice that Chato is going to say is hire a Mexican.
I was just going to say that.
What?
Preferably legal.
Manure. That's the secret.
Canadian Mexicans are better, he'll turn around and say.
Those
Mexicans up here.
Yeah, well, you import them, and then you got the visa. Then they're done with the season, and then they go back on the trains.
Yes, that's right.
Because they don't like
Back
the
on the
cold.
trains, is that what you said, Polly?
They
They
go
don't
back
like
on
the
the trains.
cold.
Used to see them biking around in tobacco country.
There's a mariachi, a Canadian mariachi guy that's kind of famous. There's like a meme of him, Tom, walking in the snow with his full charro outfit and his guitar.
You guys are allergic to snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Canadians are allergic to work.
That's true.
Oh,
Dr.
no.
Long Dongler sends in £1.99 with a thumbs up to remind you to pound that like button if you haven't done it already. Help that algo. We need it. And then we got Miller again, who says, breaking news, all Star Trek and Prodigy leaving Netflix January 8th. Now the rest I understand, but Prodigy was dubbed an original. Well, contracts come up, and clearly they're not keeping it on there. They're going to move it over
If
to
it's not
Paramount.
produced by Netflix, it's here. It's
Yeah.
it'll
That's
live
kind of
for
what we
a
were
few
talking
months.
about earlier. Yeah.
Yeah,
Philip
exactly.
Philip Butler says vertical integration is monopoly strategy too.
Oh, sure.
Yes. Yeah. Packet Proton says countdown list idea. TV shows that ended on a cliffhanger no one remembers. Evie Garland and Out of This World due to owner rights, sadly. Well, if nobody remembers them, then what's the point of doing it?
Mm.
But there was some pretty famous shows that did leave on shitty cliffhangers.
Well,
those ones with
I'm
asterisks.
desperate to find out how the Acolyte ends.
Aren't you?
Um,
Power of many.
oof, the Last Samurai Standing. Tom, have you started it?
No.
Oh, bro, you got to get into it, man.
Right.
Because it has a killer cliffhanger. I'm just like, what?
Killer.
Is
Yeah,
that like the a battle royale version with samurai? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Correct.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe Tom hasn't started it yet, bro.
It
What's
is
it on?
really good.
It's
I
on
need-
Netflix. It's called Last Samurai Standing.
There's your answer. I don't fucking have Netflix.
Okay, I'll get you the show.
I have not had Netflix. I'm one of the only people that canceled it during Cuties and has never picked it up since.
Nope, I'm with
anything I
you,
have
Tom.
watched, has been procured through other means, let's say,
Fair enough.
or somebody else had a password.
Cuties
Well,
was
you're-
my breaking point also.
You're gonna miss out on the Trans-Argentinian coal miner.
I'll pirate that. Now that I will pirate.
Miss
for
Carbon.
Well, I'm proud to be a trans. What'd you call it?
Miss Carbon.
That thing's coal miner's daughter.
This is the other daughter. That was the brother, but now is a daughter.
Proud to be a coal miner's daughter.
This is
Anyway, pack of protons. Go ahead.
no. I mean, do you know who the star of it, right?
No.
Pascal.
Pascal's brother,
Lux Pascal.
or I mean his sister. Was I don't know. I'm doing the Chinatown thing. His sister, his daughter.
That thing is the star.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that to be whatever. I don't know what to call it.
Well, I mean,
them.
They, them? Okay. Packet Proton says, got Warner Brothers Discovery in October. I guess I'd rather have Paramount, but Davey is coming off like a moron. Not very good leadership. That might be better than
Netflix. I need to hang out with Packing Proton. He's got money to burn. This guy's
You got some stock. I told Mikey to buy some stock. I would have been right. God damn it.
Packing Proton is using his mother's credit card. She doesn't.
That's
know.
it.
Remember when they downgraded the stock to junk and I said, let's buy it. Let's buy a shit ton. Yeah. Kid Piz, that's a nice name. Kid Piz says DeLuca had a BJ scandal in the 90s that knocked him out. Really?
I don't remember that.
BJ scandal.
There might be something to this. I have no idea for sure.
Tom, you're getting married?
I am.
Well, Mexican Iron Man says your future wife. What the hell's going on?
Oh, no. No, sir. No, sir.
Oh, I see.
Oh, that reminds me. I got to send Mikey a code for a movie. He's got the Blues Brothers coming.
Okay, let me get that. Let me get that samurai for you.
But so with that, let's move along here. Was there anything else we had to discuss when it came to Warner Brothers, Discovery, Netflix, Paramount deal?
We're done.
We're caught up on all that business. All right. Was there anything else in the news that wasn't Paramount related?
Hugh
I know
Jackman's new movie you just dropped. The song, something.
Is that the
Song
Neil Diamond
Lou.
tribute
Song
act?
Yeah, it's
You know,
a tribute act to Neil Diamond.
I saw an early teaser for that, Script Doctor, and the first time I saw the teaser, I thought they're doing a biopic, right?
Me too. He wouldn't have been a bad pick. I'm like, he's a
That's
little
what I
old,
thought.
but
But then
kinda
I
looks
saw
like
a
him.
full trailer, and it's just a tribute act, and I thought, I don't know.
Yeah, but
I
those,
thought that was
those
a
people
comic
really,
actor.
that's a true story, though.
I mean, if you're gonna make a movie about Neil Diamond, it should be about the train wreck that was the jazz singer.
That's
So
kinda
it's
what
getting
I'm
great
getting at.
reviews, and my guy
saw your
Anthony
review.
but they were saying that the doc was even more emotional. So I'm like, oh man, I'm looking forward to seeing this film.
Okay.
Hugh Jackman is one of those rare triple threats that's just, he's amazing.
Very talented.
I think there's going to be a large audience who wants to hear just the music, an
Mhm.
excuse to hear. He had monster hits. This is the same crowd that would go see an ABBA movie, right? I mean,
Right.
Everywhere
Hugh Jackman
around the
fan.
world.
So
I think it's
who is-
clever. I think it's clever programming for an audience that Hollywood tends to ignore.
You think it'll be a sleeper hit, guys?
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
I think
Question.
so.
It kind of has that like Yesterday kind of feel to it. Remember that
Yeah,
the
hope
Beatles
not.
movie?
But you're right.
No,
It's not the same thing, but it has that
No.
kind of
I hope
vibe
not.
to it.
Is Jackman singing?
Yeah. Him and
What I
Yeah,
mean
that's
is by a
true.
light-hearted vibe. I don't mean it's like taking itself too seriously. It just feels like it's celebrating Neil Diamond's music.
I think the trailer does that.
This feels like the ABBA movie
Mm.
with
I know-
Or whatever.
Streep.
Yeah, Streep. When I saw the first kind of news about it, we were out working on our deck, shoveling gravel basically all day. I just put on Spotify Neil Diamond and played it for an hour and a half at least. Love that guy.
And whoever owns that Neil Diamond library loves you for it.
Song sung blue. Oh yeah, man, give it to me, right into my ear veins.
Yeah, they both sing. I heard they're both, outstanding. I think it's great counter programming, Tom.
Yep.
Christopher.
It's going to be
Yeah.
a
All
great
these
boomer
Christmas-
movie.
Yeah.
They changed some lyrics, though. I heard it's Sweet Wolverine. Dun, dun, dun.
Delicious. When does that come out? Is that a Christmas
I guess
release?
it dropped
It's out.
this week, isn't it? Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say.
So, did anyone notice Zootopia is about to hit $1 billion?
Probably hit it today.
Thanks
Yeah.
to those Chinese bastards.
I'm
Yep.
telling you, in 6 days, it earned more money than the entire Superman run. People have got to be paying attention to this in the
Oh.
industry.
Leave
Yeah.
Superman alone.
No, I like Superman, but I bet that whoever owns Warner Brothers is going to start saying, we need a Zootopia movie or something.
Are they though? And I'm still curious about this because all the money it's making is in China.
in China, and that doesn't.
How much
go
of
to
that are they
Warner
going to
Brothers.
see?
I mean, again, it's also the other part too is like its reputation is the currency of Hollywood. Like
Yeah, it's
money,
bragging rights.
Yeah, money doesn't really matter so
So we
much.
made a buttload of money in China. We only got a check for 3 cents, but we
Well,
made a buttload in China. Yeah.
It's done well over 200 million here in a week.
That's not bad. No,
920 worldwide, not counting today.
yeah.
Okay.
Like this is kind of what I've been getting to over the last couple of years here, especially when it came to Superman and how people were calling it a flop. It's like it's not a flop. Domestically, it's a hit. Foreignly, it underperformed. But guess what? It still overperformed for all the superhero movies in the last 5 years, especially domestically.
It's still
So
a
this is-
cruddy movie.
You may not like it, but some people did, and enough people did that.
They were wrong.
Yeah. I couldn't stand Lois Lane dressing him down. That to me, that was just like, nah, I don't know.
Chato said
Look,
my
something.
favorite
nitpicks
part-
aside,
When does a girlfriend not dress her boyfriend down? What fantasy world are you living in, Chris?
I'm happily married, guys. I don't know where you guys are from.
What my favorite part was the beach
do you mean,
in
you
New
guys?
Jersey with the encampment that nobody knew about. Like,
Wait. There's a what?
the encampment where the device, the transducer
portal
booster
thing. Yeah.
device was just like outside of Manhattan, just on a beach.
course.
No one knew this encampment of evil.
Oh, well, that's a throwback to basically the 70s of comics. I mean,
It's a comic
I
book
swear people
movie,
forgot
Jado.
that these were comic book movies. That's what I've been
Yeah.
saying this whole
Jado.
time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
People got too used to too serious, too grounded, too much bullshit.
Yeah,
Well, I
too
mean,
dark.
So to your point, right? You can have the
I
silly.
just watched
comic book
Ninja
movie.
Turtles for fuck's sake.
You can have the silly comic book
I like
movie, or
that.
you can have the serious girlfriend dressing down the superhero and deconstructing who he is and what he
What are you
is.
talking about?
what are you talking
Dressing
about?
down.
It was a normal argument that fit within the reality of the movie.
But also,
Tom
Reality,
Shane has
right? So
fought
on
with
the
Clark
one
Kent
hand,
in
we're
the
dealing
comics
with
all the
serious
time.
reality,
What?
and on the other hand,
Chris, she said that she just didn't want to fall in love with anyone. And what happens at the end of the movie? She's in love. That's
It's called a
That's
character
timeless.
arc.
Superman.
that's timeless.
yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't like her. My bad.
Well, there you go.
Shit.
Well, you're lucky that you're a married man, so you have an excuse not to like other women.
I do have a
Wow.
good excuse. That's true. Thank you
I
for
like
that correction.
Well, let's not
Good
get
job.
into that argument. Pack and Proton says at Paul Reed, Warner Brothers stock. Don't get me mixed in as an Ellison. I used my own couch money for Warner Brothers Discovery stock. Thank you very much. Well, I don't think anybody thought otherwise.
I'm just appreciative that his stock is doing so well. He's posted so
Yeah.
many super chats today. Thank you, Packing Proton.
Yes, thank you, Pack and Protons, indeed. So yeah, yeah, no, I'm watching Ninja Turtles going, did people forget how stupid comic book movies used to be?
They're
I'm not talking about
stupid
the
and they're
first one.
stupid.
Like I'm talking about Ninja Turtles 3, but yeah.
It's a balancing act.
Yeah.
But you create a world first, and
Yeah.
then you have to follow the rules of the world. And then you'll believe it. There were too many breaks in the Superman movie. I don't want to get into it.
I
Anyway.
thought it was fine. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm
It was
sorry.
fine. It
some
was just
people didn't.
over edited, in my opinion. That was
A
it. Like,
little bit. It actually could have used another 10, 15 minutes, to be honest. You're not wrong. But that being said, yeah. What else is there? The furries are out in full force for Zootopia. I mean, what else can we say that we haven't said already? I don't know.
I guess we've already
Five Nights at
talked
Freddy,
about
I mean,
we've already talked about Cameron backpedaling on Avatar 4 and 5, right?
no. Well, maybe. I mean, there was some deal where he was talking about he doesn't know if they're going to be made or not. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah. I mean, fans of the series are probably a little bit disappointed because he had 4 and 5 planned. Now he's calling that vaporware, and the movie hasn't even come out. And I suspect that this is all related to probably poor ticket sales tracking. And I didn't know if you guys have been following that.
Well, I remember being on Pro, I think last week, and we were talking about that, where there's supposedly internally some discussion going on about how this Avatar might not do as well as they're hoping. And I wouldn't be surprised because we all kind of expected it to fall.
Yeah.
off the cliff for the
Well, I
second
remember
one, but
Paulie when has seen it, wasn't
He
able
has
to give
seen
us
it.
a real
he
review
can only
for it.
react.
Mhm.
Yeah. Right.
He said it
But-
was in focus.
But Cameron is also heavily against this Netflix Warner Brothers deal. He doesn't. I think he just hates Netflix.
Cameron doesn't know what the fuck Cameron wants from one second to the other.
he's dedicated the last 20 years on this Avatar franchise. China and some of the European markets are what really support this franchise because Avatar does okay domestically, but
Yeah.
again, it's a big international part. I wouldn't be surprised that if Avatar crossed 1.5 billion globally, they'll do a fourth.
Yep.
He says he needs more.
Yeah. Well, he'll have a new idea for a new trilogy or something.
Mikey's trying to get kicked out of the chat.
So let's see. He's done the forest. He's done the water. He's done fire and ash. All he has to do is like a Canadian ice storm movie,
Wind.
and then he can bring the Na'vi to Earth. There's your 5.
Boom. Yeah. Script doctor with the script
Ah,
log line.
yeah.
There it is.
I like it.
Or instead of going to Earth, he does a desert version of the Na'vi on.
Or the Na'vi versus Predator.
There you go.
I would see that. As long as the aliens are there.
And just to think, the Na'vi can use those weird fiber optic things in their ponytails and connect to the dreadlocks of the Predator and then control predators.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
right. There you go. Although that could be cultural appropriation.
I mean, the whole movie's about cultural appropriation. You got a human posing as a Na'vi.
True.
Well, it's
Yeah.
it's more significant than the amount of cultural significance that franchise has had. So I'll take appropriation, any cultural thing we can do with it. Gosh, Packing Proton's back.
The sponsor of today's episode with another 5 says, I liked Turtles 3, get Henson back and rip out the dated pop culture references and it's fine. It's funny you mentioned that. I was just thinking last night as I'm watching it, you could easily cut around a lot. You know what? 99% of those references are all Corey Feldman. So my guess is, and they're all when they're off camera for the most part, when he's not on, like he's not on camera. So my guess is that there was shit that he came up with.
Yeah, in post.
Like the Schwing one is definitely there, and the Addams Family line is definitely there, but there's some other ones you could just completely erase them and you wouldn't know any fucking
I don't even
difference.
remember 3.
3 is where they go back in time, and it is supposed to be a little bit more serious than the second film, but unfortunately, like I said, you get a bunch of like pop culture references in the third film, and I think it was more directly with just them ad-libbing. And then, of course, the special effects went out the window because they didn't have Henson back to do the effects. So, yeah.
Are you guys seeing the, I guess it's sort of a low rumble, not much hype for the Housemaid, Paul Feig's Sydney Sweeney?
It looks somewhat... I mean, that's the thing with Paul Feig is he can be funny as long as he stays away from shit like Ghostbusters.
I don't even. Is this supposed to be funny?
I don't think so, because I remember reading the script years
not.
back, and it's not funny because it's basically a woman hires a maid that looks like pretty much like how she did when she was 20 years younger.
Yeah,
and it's got that whole like
the trailer came off like a dark comedy. I don't know.
Yeah, it almost felt like a Hand That Rocks the Cradle type thing.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think it's going to wind up being another Sweeney dud.
Paulie's just hanging out in the chat for some reason.
He's walking his dog.
Oh, that's right. He's like, it's got mixed reviews. So did Ninja Turtles 3. Actually, didn't get very mixed reviews.
Wait, now
Most people
Packing
just like
Proton's also like Superman 4. Is that right?
That's true. That is
just
true.
out there throwing bombs. You're trolling now.
Well, I understand. I have like this weird love for cheesy comic book movies. That's why I'll watch Morbius just for the morbidness of it.
You also have a masochistic streak, Tom. Come on.
I do a little bit. But I laugh at it. See, it's not that it's like torturing myself. It's just kind of like they spend millions of dollars on this shit. So I laugh at it, you know.
That's like me and Meteor Man or whatever.
It's like I laughed at my ass off at Supergirl. Especially the extended cut. That thing is batshit crazier than the theatrical cut. Or the US theatrical cut.
I draw the line at Condor Man.
Condor Man, that's a hit.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Maybe they should.
I miss cheesy comic book movies. I'm sorry. There's
super cheesy. British.
Yeah.
British comic.
And that's why I loved Superman though, Paul. And I get why some people didn't, but it's like, you know what? I've missed this. I've missed this cheesiness to like it's like they forgot. But it was making comic book movies.
Overstuffed and did not have a good villain.
Oh, I'm not going to deny that kind of shit. You know, like I even came around to liking Batman and Robin. I fucking hated that movie when it came out. But I watched it more recently, and the first time since it came out, and I'm like, you know what? I get this. I'm laughing along with it. I see what Joel Schumacher was doing. Yeah. I understand why it pissed us off at the time. But now looking back at this, I'm kind of glad we have this because of all the dark Batman we have in comparison.
I just take off the fake nipples. I would like that movie.
People forget that there was fake nipples in Batman Forever. They were just distracted by Chris O'Donnell's ass.
You know, I liked Batman. Is that the one with Val Kilmer?
Yeah, Val Kilmer one is Batman Forever was way ahead of its time because it was
liked it.
Digital identity theft.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, that one's aged well. That one's aged well. Batman and Robin has not. Batman and Robin is just cheesy fun though, and stepping back now, knowing that it's Schumacher's love letter to the Adam West Batman, I get it, right? Like there's the Bat credit card. I totally get. Like the whole thing makes sense to me now, and especially if you watch some of the older Batman cartoons beyond the 66 show, there's things in there that you're like, oh, okay, I totally get where this goes. There was literally a Bat credit card in the cartoon once.
No,
right? So it's not like it was the first. No, I remember posting the picture of it.
you mean from the from the 90s animation?
Yeah, from the Filmation. No, the Filmation one.
Oh, the Filmation one. That's
yes.
That's, yeah.
So I'm like, that wasn't the only time Batman was cheesy. Batman's been cheesy in other times and places too.
Sure.
But Tweaky Kid has been a member for 55 freaking months. That's a long time, Tweaky Kid. Beady, beady, beady. Thank you for being here, and we appreciate that. And with that, I think we're going to wrap this up. Chris, what do you got going on over at Bleeding Fool?
Over at Bleeding Fool, we actually do talk about Cameron warning his Avatar fans that the upcoming sequel is probably going to be the last one. We're talking about Disney rumors that Screen Rant is saying that Disney's going to retcon their Star Wars trilogy, which Shark completely destroys. And we've got a few more stories coming up today talking about the Scarlett Johansson landing on the cast of Batman Part 2 and some other AI news that's coming up later this afternoon over at bleedingfool.com. And you can track us on social media at Bleeding Fool. And I'm waiting on Mr. Mixoplick to be in the next Superman movie. Do you think that'll happen?
Mixoplick? Probably.
Oh, you can say it, then you know, Script.
Yeah.
Will he make an appearance in the next Gunn Superman movie?
Script is not good for
movie.
anything else except for pronouncing his name.
As long as he's not played by Patton Oswalt, I'll be fine.
Don't do Pat. No, don't do that.
Because you know that's what they want to do. That or the fucker that played Olaf. What's his name? That little fat fucker.
That was the guy who's writing the next Spaceballs.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, Josh Gad. No.
Thank you.
Josh Gad.
As long as it's not Patton Oswalt or Josh Gad, I'll be fine.
Okay.
It should be Martin Short. Should be the voice of Mixoplick.
Oh,
bingo! Yes.
That
Great
would be
cat.
great.
That would be perfect. But they would never do it.
That would be perfect.
Script, what do you got going on?
I'm probably gonna. Well, it's snow and things have opened up, so I'm probably gonna be going down to a set production. I'm just waiting for the phone call. But outside of that, yeah, we've got Script on Saturdays this Saturday at 7 p.m. reviewing a potential comedy script called Old Souls about 3 geriatric women on their deathbed are granted 1 week to live as young women again by death, so that they can, cause hijinks and chaos before they cross over. So we'll see if that is actually funny or a cringe.
Wow, that's the definition of body count.
Yeah.
God bless Release the McCracken. Coal Miner's Brother, starring Pedro Pascal.
There you go.
There we go. Thank you for that.
The amazing use of AI. I'm glad we've got servers, trillions of dollars worth of servers just to give us that.
That was actually worth it, Paul.
We are living in unserious times.
That was actually
right. Well, we've always been in unserious times.
Yeah, less and less. So. More, but I don't know which way it goes. Sorry.
I was born in a double-decker, and my brother was born with a pecker, but now he has it chopped off. Wait, what? Go ahead, Paul. Tell everybody what you got going on. TV Guide?
Don't I get working on it. Right now, you can go to Call Me Chato and see my deep dive into the Jeffrey Katzenberg memo from 1991. It's a fun video.
Yeah,
I want to check
that
that
was
one
pretty
out.
good.
Thank you.
So do that.
I thought it would be up your alley.
Well, I mean, I remember being able to peruse it in 2007. Not allowed to leave. This thing is not allowed to leave this office. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Indeed. And Paulie, what you got going on? Are you back or are you still walking dogs?
I think he's out there.
You can see me on the Latino slant. There you go. How was my Paulie? Is that good? Was it racist?
Like a
as fuck?
ventriloquist.
It was very racist, and I'm glad.
Was it?
So let's get on out of here, kids. Take care of yourselves and each other. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Let me double check the Rumble side, but I think we're clear. We are. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
As Andre says, it is time for
Bye.
Koalas in.
Koalas in the rain, koalas
given. Koala, koala, koalas in the rain. Koalas in the rain. No fucks given. Koala, koala, koalas in the rain. Koalas in the rain. No fucks given. Koala.